Hey everybody, before we get started, as you can see, I'm back in my office, going to be in here a lot more often nowadays because I'm actually going to be starting a live stream over at Amazon Live. Now, this upcoming Tuesday is going to be my first ever, my inaugural live stream, so I want to invite all of you to join. Make sure you get into the description down below. I'll have a link in there once I have it available, and you'll be able to join and follow me over on Amazon Live for when I do my live streams every single week. I'm actually doing two next week on Tuesday and one on Thursday. So make sure you look forward to that and come join me as we kick it on what will be the resurrection of the Tech and Tea podcast, powered by Amazon Live. Hope to see you there. Also, the other thing I wanted to mention is obviously I have the microphone in frame right now. This is kind of in preparation for that live stream, but let me know in the comment sections down below if you are cool with the microphone being in the shot. Obviously, I can move it around if I really want to, but if it's right here, audio sounds good, and you don't mind the mic being in the frame, just let me know and I'll keep it there. But let's get into this video. In the land of truly wireless earbuds, there are so many choices, and for a time I was actually trying to review every single one of them. However, one pair I feel didn't get as much attention in front of the camera as it did in my daily life, and that would be the Jaybird Vista. The reason why I loved that pair a couple of years back is because it managed to offer a lot in such a small footprint compared to basically anything else at the time. But as listener expectations for truly wireless earbuds have evolved, certain features have to be at least considered for a pair to be considered competitive. And now we have Jaybird, who decided to just throw in as many of those features as possible. So let's get the buds out of this cool Jaybird branded Cotopaxi fanny pack that is proudly made in the Philippines, put one or both of these earbuds in, secure the wingtips, and fire up the ANC. Because this is Joshua Vergara, what's going on everybody? Here's what worked, and what didn't, with the Jaybird Vista 2. Now, as I just mentioned, one of the best parts about the Vista were their small footprint, even when the buds are in the case. That actually continues as Jaybird still provides the wingtip sleeves here, which perfectly fit in a sleek case that itself has a few tricks. A tether on the side can be used to tie the earbuds to your backpack or gym bag, or wherever you might want to keep them safe. And the case has a strong magnet that stays closed until you actually pull the two halves apart. True to the active lifestyle that Jaybird markets, the case is also now water resistant, making it at least rain weather ready for scenarios like hiking in the wet. LEDs on the front indicate charging through either the USB port via wireless charging, or even the charging of the actual earbuds via the magnetic charging contacts. And a final trick that I'll show off is the other reason why I loved the original Vistas. There's a button here in the middle of the open case that can be used to trigger the pairing mode when the earbuds are sitting in their spots. Now, this button pairing system is actually one I prefer over what many other pairs require, which is having both units in your ears and then you have to hold down the buttons on both of them until you trigger the pairing mode. But now let's get to the buds. They might be a little bit bigger than other earbuds, but that's partially because of the wingtip and ear tip combination sleeves that the actual units are nestled in. Now, my very average ears can take the pre-installed bits pretty easily, but you can find your perfect fit via one of the many replacement sleeves and tips that are included in the box. It's always great to see audio companies paying extra attention to this very thing. There's a fabric feel to the outer portions that actually hides both a physical button, typically used for play pause, playlist control, and volume control via holds, and then the entire area is also touch sensitive, which by default can be used to double tap so you can change the sound mode. The buttons have a very firm click to them, but then the light taps are a bit hit or miss. I tend to just keep tapping until it actually works to change the sound modes. But the main detail with these earbuds is their ruggedness. I mentioned that the case has some water resistance, but then the buds are actually IP68 certified. That's what makes them what Jaybird calls earth-proof, so they can be submerged and take tumbles better than a majority of other earbuds. This IP rating might be the reason why the Vista 2 do not have one of those vents that help users avoid that earplug feel, which is a fair trade-off in my opinion. And I know what you're thinking. You're damn right I use these in the shower as well, with full confidence that they would survive. Now, I do need to give a quick disclaimer here though, it's not something that I would recommend everybody do. Basically, take caution if you do want to get in the water with earbuds in your ears. Shouts out to Juan Bagnell, some gadget guy. One time he once shared a story in my comments of how water got into his ear, perforated his eardrum when he had earbuds in. So honestly, just take caution if you do ever want to get in the water with earbuds in, whether you're swimming or just taking a shower. Still, the ingress protection is one of the main selling points of the Vista 2, potentially making them a go-to for outdoorsy types or people who just want to make sure their sound product is well protected from the elements. And you know what, that sound can go for a while because the battery life on the Vista 2 is actually quite great. With the active noise cancellation and the surround sense off, these earbuds can play for up to 8 hours. In playing with those modes and turning them on and off, obviously with those light taps, I was able to easily get past 6 hours, both with singular play or with both earbuds in. And the case is able to provide 2 full charges after that, leading to a full 24 hours of battery life in and out of the case. And again, the case can be wirelessly charged, which is convenient as you could just set it down on a mat and let the case stay topped up. By the by, check out the branding on this wireless charger from Jaybird's sibling company Logitech. It's really nice to see this level of synergy between these brands. So here we go. How do they actually sound? In a word, they sound fine. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but even if this might be one of the most full-featured, truly wireless earbuds out now, the sound profile and the quality doesn't quite stack up to certain competitors. They don't sound bad at all, but the level of immersion that I would want from a pair that sports ANC is just not quite there. Bass is pretty average, meaning that they don't quite bump in songs like West Coast Love by Emotional Oranges. The highs don't pierce at high volumes, thankfully, but you might be wanting a little bit more clarity in those EDM songs from like Above and Beyond. And the mids are plenty fine for spoken word content like podcasts, which is the majority of my listening anyway, and this goes for both ANC on or off, and also with the surround sense activated. Now, if you ask me, the main problem here is that there's a narrow soundstage. The spectrums are mostly okay, but there's just not enough separation between like the instruments and the vocals to create that immersive feel, to make it feel like you're actually there as the music is playing. I know that it's really hard to judge soundstage from earbuds compared to full headphones, but when you notice it, and that's the case with the Vista 2s. And yet another disappointment, unfortunately, is the call quality. While the Vista 2 have microphones geared towards good ANC and ambient sound, they are hardly top tier in terms of voice and video calls. But here you go, you can judge for yourself. Here is the mic quality through the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, where of course you can go into the Pro Video mode and record via the Bluetooth earbuds that are connected to the device. This isn't going to be quite like a straight up voice or video call, but this is a way for me to get some audio off of the earbuds, so let me know what you think. But at least the active noise cancellation and the ambient mode are pretty good. These were features missing in the original Vista, which came out at a time when those modes were considered really high luxury capabilities, but now they're practically required. I was personally impressed with how much the active noise cancellation was able to cut out. To be fair, the seal in the medium ear tips is actually perfect for me, so that definitely contributed to the better isolation in places like the gym or in my home office. And to the few of you who sometimes care to ask, ANC can be turned on when using just one earbud. And speaking of just one earbud, whether left or right, I do tend to be that person who has something playing at all times. Now, that's where SurroundSense comes in, which is the name of Jaybird's ambient sound mode. And it's really effective in the scenario of using one earbud because the max setting allows the microphones to add a little bit of environmental amplification. That way, I can easily hold conversations while I'm out and about, pausing the content whenever necessary for further focus. Ultimately, both ANC and SurroundSense are implemented very well here, again stacking the Vista 2 as a rugged pair of earbuds that can kind of do it all. Well, not all is lost, however, on the sound front. I'm speaking of the general sound experience in the Vista 2, which can actually be greatly customized in the Jaybird app. As a matter of fact, the Jaybird app is probably one of the most well-reviewed audio product companion apps I've ever seen, and for good reason. The community-driven EQ aspect is awe-inspiring. The EQ itself is robust, allowing you to change the decibel levels across the specific parts of the sound spectrum, which is more than most audio products can boast. If you just want the adjustments made for you, other listeners share their EQs in the app and you can just apply them. The audio experience can then be specifically catered to your liking. Just bear in mind though that none of this really fixes that narrow soundstage that I mentioned earlier. But if you do want better bass and more clarity in the highs, that is possible using the EQ in the app. There are a few other things you can do in the app, like customize the button presses and the touch presses. You can ping the earbuds via the Find feature, and you can set the sound mode. In particular, the SurroundSense setting is the one that you might fiddle with a little bit because you can actually lightly amplify your surroundings so that you have more environmental awareness, or you can just have a comfortable conversation with somebody and not have to take the earbuds out. If you ever did have to take the earbuds out though, the rather large sensor in the earbuds for automatically pausing or playing your content actually is really reliable. Okay, so I remember years back when I first started going to the gym more often that Jaybird was one of the darling companies for workout earbuds. Back then they had the design where there was still one wire connecting the two earbuds together, but they were Bluetooth enabled. The best part about them though was that wingtip, that signature Jaybird wingtip that continues till this day. I always wondered why Jaybird didn't get talked about more in the truly wireless space, because clearly they've ticked as many boxes as possible this time around. And in a sea of earbuds that are just trying to find that killer feature, I think it's the sum of the Vista 2's parts that make them a very compelling pair of earbuds. I mean, you tell me which earbuds out there are this tough while remaining this minimally designed, with secure wingtips, and feature active noise cancellation with an ambient mode? If anything, I'm just glad Jaybird returned with one hell of a follow-up to a pair that I did used to use a lot, but I didn't talk about much myself. And for $199, this overall set of features actually undercuts many of the products from brands you might hear about often. Audiophiles might prefer the competitors, but for a good listening experience that is surrounded by nearly all of the features you could possibly ask for, the Vista 2 will come out of that battle, out of the wet and out of the dirt, and still keep going. For more on truly wireless earbuds like the Jaybird Vista 2 and beyond, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Again, look forward to my Amazon live streams that are starting this upcoming week on Tuesday and then another one on Thursday. The links are all found in the description below. From there, drop some likes on this video and let me know what you think of the Jaybird Vista 2s in the comment sections down below. With all that said, we're going to call it on this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves and each other and enjoy your tea, everybody.